This is our notes on trig ratios on the unit circle. We're going to be talking about all of the trig ratios. The last time I was with you, we talked about just sine, cosine, and tangent. So let's review that. We're starting off with a little review of what we did last time. Sine of pi over 6. We need to know that. That's the one that I memorized. That is 1/2. If sine of pi over 6 is 1/2, then cosine of pi over 6 is square root of 3 over 2. And sine of pi over 3 is 1/2. I'm sorry, sine of pi over 3 is square root of 3 over 2. Cosine of pi over 3 is 1/2. Okay, tangent of pi over 3. Pi over 3 has 1 3 in it. It's a tangent. This is just square root of 3. Tangent of pi over 6. 6 has 2 3's. Square root of 3 over 3. Sine of pi over 4. Square root of 2 over 2. Cosine of pi over 4. Square root of 2 over 2. Tangent of pi over 4 is sine over cosine. They are the same, so this is just a 1. Alright, a little bit of a review from what we did last time. Okie doke. Cosecant of theta. We need to remember that cosecant of theta is the reciprocal of sine of theta. It's the reciprocal of sine theta. Okay. Secant of theta is the reciprocal of cosine of theta. And cotangent of theta is the reciprocal of tangent of theta. Since tangent of theta is sine over cosine, cotangent of theta will be cosine over sine. Okay? Alrighty, so when we are finding some values of these other 3 trig functions, it is convenient to remember these things, okay? Cosecant of pi over 6. Well, in my mind, cosecant of pi over 6 is the reciprocal of sine of pi over 6. Sine of pi over 6 is 1/2. The reciprocal of 1/2 is 2. Cosecant of pi over 3. Well, sine of pi over 3 is square root of 3 over 2. So the reciprocal of square root of 3 over 2 will be 2 over square root of 3, which rationalizes to 2 square root of 3 over 3 when we rationalize the denominator. Okay, cotangent of pi over 3. Well, tangent of pi over 3 is square root of 3. So cotangent will be the reciprocal of that. The reciprocal of that is 1 over square root of 3, which rationalizes to square root 3 over 3. So cotangent of pi over 3 is square root 3 over 3. What is cotangent of pi over 6 then? Well, cotangent of pi over 6 will be the other one. It'll be the plain square root of 3. Okay? Alright, cosecant of pi over 4. I can see I saved those pi over 4s. Let's come and do these other pi over 6s and 3s. Secant of pi over 6. Secant of pi over 6 is the reciprocal of cosine of pi over 6, and cosine of pi over 6 is square root 3 over 2. So this reciprocal will be 2 over square root 3, which is 2 square root 3 over 3. Secant of pi over 3 is the reciprocal of cosine of pi over 3. Cosine of pi over 3 is 1/2, so secant of pi over 3 is 2. Alrighty. Okay, let's come and do the pi over 4s. Cosecant, secant, and cotangent. cosecant of pi over 4. Well, sine of pi over 4 is square root 2 over 2. But remember where that came from. That came from 1 over square root 2. That's what we got square root of 2 over 2 when we rationalized. So sine of pi over 4 is 1 over square root 2, which is more convenient to flip. If you flip that, you just get square root of 2. Which means that secant of pi over 4 will also be square root of 2. The reciprocal of cosine of pi over 4, but cosine and sine have the same values at pi over 4. Cotangent of pi over 4. Well, what was tangent of pi over 4? Tangent of pi over 4 was 1. What's the reciprocal of 1? 1. Okay, let's do some mixed, and in mixed quadrants. All right, cosecant pi over 6. That's just in the first quadrant. Sine is positive. Sine of pi over 6 is 1/2. So cosecant of pi over 6 is 2. Secant of 2 pi over 3. What quadrant are we in? 2 pi over 3 is 1 pi over 3 less than 3 pi over 3. So we are in quadrant 2, where cosine is negative. So this is going to be negative something. So cosine of 2 pi over 3 is negative 1/2. Cosine of any pi over 3 is 1/2. So this will be a negative 2. Cotangent 7 pi over 4. 7 pi over 4 is in quadrant 4, 1 less than 8. So 8 pi over 4. Alrighty, quadrant 4, where tangent is negative. So this is going to be a negative. And tangent of 7 pi over 4 is negative 1. The flip of negative 1 is negative 1. Alrighty. Secant of 5 pi over 3. What quadrant is that in? 5 pi over 3 is 1 less than 6 pi over 3, so we're again in quadrant 4. Cosine of 5 pi over 3 is positive 1/2. The reciprocal of positive 1/2 is positive 2. Cotangent of 3 pi over 2. Where's 3 pi over 2? 3 pi over 2 is right on the axis, right? And that point on the unit circle, that point is 0, -1. So for axes, I prefer to think of not the reciprocal of tangent, but instead cosine over sine for cotangent. Cosine of 3 pi over 2 is the x-coordinate, 0. Sine of 3 pi over 2 is the y-coordinate, -1. So this gives us 0 over -1, and that is 0. So cotangent is 0. You guys, what is tangent there? What is tangent of 3 pi over 2? Tangent of 3 pi over 2 is sine over cosine at 3 pi over 2. Sine is -1. Cosine is 0. Can you divide by 0? No. Tangent of 3 pi over 2 is undefined. On the graph of tangent x, you have a vertical asymptote at 3 pi over 2 for tangent. In fact, you have a vertical asymptote at every pi over 2. Pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, 5 pi over 2, 7 pi over 2, all of the coefficients there. Okay. Cosecant of 4 pi over 3. So what quadrant are we in? 4 pi over 3 is one higher than 3 pi over 3, so we're down here in quadrant 3. Sine of 4 pi over 3 is going to be a negative then, because sine is negative down there. Negative, and pi over 3 for sine is square root 3 over 2. The flip of that, the reciprocal of that, is negative 2 over square root 3, which is negative 2 square root 3 over 3. Next up, secant of negative 3 pi over 4. So what quadrant is negative 3 pi over 4 in? If we start here at 0 and go backwards, here we would be at negative pi over 2. Negative 3 pi over 4 would be over here in quadrant 3. So it's the pi over 4 angle in quadrant 3. So secant, well, secant is the reciprocal of cosine, so cosine of that angle in quadrant 3, cosine is negative. It's a pi over 4, so it's square root 2 over 2, which came from negative 1 over square root 2. So the reciprocal of that is just negative square root 2. Okay, what quadrant would negative 5 pi over 3 be in? Well, positive 5 pi over 3 would be almost all the way around. It would be almost all, positive would be almost all the way around in quadrant 4. So if we go negative, we'll go almost all the way around backwards, and we will end up in quadrant 1. And in quadrant 1, everything is positive. So this is going to be a positive. Sine is positive square root 3 over 2. So 2 over square root 3, 2 square root 3 over 3. Okay, what quadrant is this one in? Negative 4 pi over 3. Well, negative 3 pi over 3 would be all the way to pi, right? We're going to go one more. So we'll be in quadrant 2. Okay, tangent and cotangent are both negative there, so our answer is going to be negative. Okay, tangent is negative square root 3. So in my mind, cotangent is the other one. It's the square root 3 over 3. Okay. What about cotangent of 13 pi over 3? 13 pi over 3. Well, we need to get a coterminal angle that is between 0 and 2 pi. We need to see what quadrant this is in. What quadrant is that in? If I go all the way around, I would be at 6 pi over 3. If I go all the way around again, I would be at 12 pi over 3. I need to go one more pi over 3 unit. So pi over 3 is going to be in quadrant 1. Okay? So my answer here is going to be positive. Okay, it's a pi over 3. Tangent of pi over 3 is square root 3. So cotangent of pi over 3 is square root 3 over 3. Okay, again on this one, secant of 23 pi over 4. 23 pi over 4. Well, we could do it kind of like we did this one, but what did we do here? We went around 6, 12, right? We went around multiples of 6, didn't we? We're going to go around multiples of 8 this time. 8 pi over 4, 16 pi over 4. Can we go one more? 16 pi over 4. If we go 8 more, 16 pi over 4, if we go 8 more, that's going to put us too many, isn't it? 16 pi over 4. 23 pi over 4 minus 16 pi over 4. What is that? That is 7 pi over 4. So that puts us into the fourth quadrant. We're in quadrant 4. We're in quadrant 4. So what does that mean? That means secant is going to be positive because secant is the flip of cosine. So this is going to be positive. Okay? And so cosine of pi over 4, cosine of pi over 4 is square root 2 over 2, which came from 1 over square root 2. So secant of pi over 4 of 23 pi over 4 will be positive square root 2. Sine of 50 pi. Sine of 50 pi. Let's think about that. It's going to be on one of the axes, isn't it? It's either going to be a multiple of 2 or it's either going to be a pi or a 2 pi or a 3 pi, 4 pi, 5 pi, 6 pi. I don't want to keep on going, but what's happening there? 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, 5 pi, 6 pi. All of the even pi's are right here, aren't they? So 50 pi is going to land us back here at 0. This is the same as sine of 0. And what is sine of 0? This is the point 1, 0. Sine is the y-coordinate. Sine of 0 is 0. Okay, in class I might think up a few more to do here on this blank space underneath your notes page here, but I think that that is good.